Hey, this is Jim at Broadfield. Thanks for joining Broadfield Liquid Lunch every Thursday at 1 p.m. I really want to thank all of our dealers for taking time out of their Thursdays afternoon to join us, and I look forward to you joining us every Thursday through 2022 as well. I always have a great time kicking off the show with some of these great beers that we have on tap. We're going to kick off the year and the show like we do every show. This is a New England IPA called Road Trip from Newport Craft Brewing Company. It's a watermelon cider called Side Boob.
So we're going to go straight for a little bit of Michter's. Oops, that probably was too big a pump. Might be a difficult show by the end.
I can't have you on the show without asking you to partake, so cheers.
And cheers to all our dealers. Thank you for turning into the Liquid Lunch.
This past year, we had a great opportunity to get some of our dealers out to join us for the Mets event and some of the other events that we did internally with our own team. We're hoping that 2022 will allow us to see you even more often with shows like NAB, Infocom, and our Mets game is already on the calendar next August. Check out some of these great highlights from 2021.
Broadfield! What's up, Broadfield? Woo! Let's go Mets! Let's go Mets!
One of my favorite parts of 2021 was the NDI November show, not just because of all the great content that we had, but the fact that we were able to invite some of our system integrators to join us and share the spotlight. We hope that some more of you will take advantage of opportunities like this, but here's a look at some of the things that we've done. Today I've got a great show for you, joined by our friend Jesse Miller with Midtown Video.
We're a boutique integration firm in Miami, Florida. We build streaming and broadcast studios. We build video conferencing suites, stadium and venue sound packages, and whatever creative stuff our clients come up with. On that remote computer on the Midtown Video LAN, I opened up the free tool from NewTek, NDI Studio Monitor. I engaged the KVM control, and now from my home, I have the entire interface control of the TriCaster 2C TC2 Elite in our control room.
First of all, the fact that you can tell this story like it happened yesterday, and we're talking about October 2020, I can only imagine how you must have felt getting all of this on air. Today, I'm being joined by Dan with Keycode Media. Hey, Dan.
Hey Jim, how are you today? I'm Daniel Dauphin. I'm a senior solutions architect with Keycode. And Keycode, we're a full systems integrator. We'll sell lighting, sound, cameras, switcher, any post server that you can think of. Microsoft had just implemented NDI for broadcast within even Teams. And now we're seeing like Zoom, and you need the Zoom room capability in order to have that NDI capability. But you see these more gallery-centric meeting platforms starting to utilize NDI so that they can have better broadcasts that are brought in.
You will see joined with me today is Matt Baker from Visua. Hey, Matt.
We are an audio video integration firm and design consulting firm.
Okay.
Focused primarily on the sports market and really the niche of minor league sports and collegiate. We always say we help teams because it's more than just, this equipment is really just the tools to put on a show, right?
Absolutely.
In minor league baseball, it is so much a show. It's more than the sport.
Just like I like sharing the spotlight with our dealers, I also enjoy when we get the experts from the vendors who we talk to day in and day out to join us on the show. 2021 was a great year where we were joined virtually and in studio by some of our favorite partners, and we hope that that will continue well into the new year and beyond. And we invited Cody Clevens from Netgear to join us today to talk about these switches and to talk about how they're optimized for NDI production. So Matt, why don't you introduce yourself a little bit to our audience, and then we'll get started with the show.
Well, thank you, Jim. I'm Matt Frazier. I'm the Business Development Manager for Panasonic Lumix.
Today we have a special guest joining us, Don Rigo from Bird Dog.
I want to introduce you guys a little bit. Marco is the product manager for the Grass Valley products we're going to be talking about today. And Luis Hernandez is the ex-CEO of Avid. Luis had this grand idea. This grand idea was to go really big back into media. And last year it was announced, Black Dragon Capital purchased Grass Valley.
We have a special guest on the show with us this week, Paul Richards from PTZ Optics. Hey, Paul.
Hey, Jim. Thanks for having me.
Really excited to have you. We got lots of great stuff to share with the dealers today. You'll see that I'm being joined in studio today with George Klippo from LiveView.
Hey, Jim.
And virtually with Dan Pizarski from LiveView. So we got a full house for today's show. You will see in the corner of my screen, I am being joined today by Ed Holland at NewTek. Hey, Ed, how are you?
Good afternoon, Jim. Appreciate you guys having us.
So let me introduce Martin Christian, a creative Sherpa and studio head at SanDisk Professional. Hey, Martin. Joined with us today on the show are Robert Sharp, and we wanted to take this opportunity to introduce Robert to all of our dealers. So Robert, thanks for joining us. We're going to get into a little bit more of the meat and the technology right now. We're going to give Sean the permission to take over his screen and give us a demo of New Blue Titler Live. You'll see my guest in the corner of this week's show is James Lucarelli from Red. Hey, James.
How's it going, Jim?
Doing awesome, man. I am really excited about showing off the V-Raptor. You will see I have some friends on the screen today. We invited Julian and Shane from Telestream to join us. Hey, guys.
Hello, hello. Thanks for having us.
Oh, my pleasure.
How's it going? Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. We've got some great stuff to talk about. The Broadfield catalog is always growing. Gary spoke on our show last week about some of the great new stuff we already have coming in 2022. Here are some of our favorites from this year. Broadfield Distributing likes to say that we are your source for live video production and streaming. And that's one of the reasons why we're so excited about the RGB Link Mini and the RGB Link Mini Plus. It's also going to allow you to output to an HDMI signal or to a USB 3.0 connection. So Oliver is pulling up a screen of what that online GUI looks like. And this is another very easy way to control the capability of the RGB Link Mini from either a remote touchscreen, a laptop, or something else connected directly to the network. Broadfield is now your source for Panasonic Lumix cameras, camera bodies, lenses, and accessories. They reached out to us because they know that our dealer network, including you, includes a lot of these system integrators. So now we're able to offer you the ability to include Panasonic Lumix cameras and lenses in your next installation. We are proud to announce that Broadfield is now your source for Netgear switches, the final piece of the puzzle for the NDI workflow. NewTek is really taught a lot about these Netgear switches and the capability of really getting the most from your entire NDI workflow.
I think NDI was kind of early on too, and we formed this product advisory group, and everybody said, hey, take a look at NDI. We think it's going to be, really a hot technology moving forward.
Talk a little bit about the commitment that you're looking from the dealers as well as what you're looking to give back to those dealers who step up.
We try and create market-leading companies that kind of show the way for the industry. We think Grass Valley has the perfect platform. They've created this thing called the Grass Valley Media Universe. It's a cloud-native set of applications for live production. All right, how are we going to bring this to Tier 2 and Tier 3? Let's look for deeply committed resellers who have been successful before, who have deep relationships and can add services to it, because we know in so doing, we're going to help them transition to this cloud-based environment.
The products in there are kind of hand-picked and selected together because they work great together. These LDX cameras with the Live Touch system was designed to be a purpose-built turnkey package for sports production. So let's go into what we're here to talk about, and that's SanDisk Professional. Martin, you want to give us the quick elevator pitch on exactly what led to this rebranding?
A lot of things had changed, and we realized at Western Digital how sort of essentially kind of the grounds were shifting, and we saw this much more global market that was open to us now, because we had Western Digital, and then we had SanDisk, and we had G Technology, which kind of we weren't able to quite cater internationally the way that we wanted to. So what we instead did was we took the parts of SanDisk. At the other end, we have the G-Tech stuff, which is the shuttle, as you kind of see on the right-hand side, the shuttle, the G-Drive, the G-Raid, things like the Armor ATD, and now the new Armor Lock. And really, we knew we needed to have this kind of exist under one brand that really we could take a lot further.
And just like we're expanding our catalog with new brands, those new brands come with new products, as well as exciting new products from the brands that you can always get at Broadfield Distributing. Here are some of our favorite new product introductions from 2021. We're starting with 3 models that are going to be readily available and in stock here at Broadfield.
I would simply click on the configure button here. I'm going to call it NDI 5. I can give it a color and just use my mouse and select the ports that are going to be transmitting NDI traffic. And I hit apply. I have ports 2 through 5, which have been configured for NDI 5. Right, that's how simple it is to configure network switches with these M4250 series for NDI traffic.
So let's introduce YOLOBox and YOLOBox Pro. What these are video switchers, encoders, streamers, monitor, recorder, and audio mixer, all built into one. In YOLOBox Pro, it's actually an 8-inch Android tablet upgraded with a little bit faster Qualcomm chip to give you all of that capability in one unit all by itself. We have HDMI 1, HDMI 2, HDMI 3. We have our network connection, and then we have an HDMI output, followed by a USB Type-C, which we're going to talk a lot about today, and your audio I/O capabilities and monitor jack as well.
So in a nutshell, Tyler Live is the all-inclusive graphics package that's supposed to be everything. It's got everything you need in one place. This is where you can see and control all of the graphics that are going to be used in your broadcast. And it is fairly intuitive. You see the play button, you click the play button, and the title plays. It's a very basic spreadsheet file with the lyrics laid out, and then that same information is displayed here inside the software itself. Once you hit play, you see the first line played, and then as the song progresses, you can either click manually through every single line of the lyric, or you can set an autoplay to do every 5 seconds, 4 seconds.
So I want to kick off today's show, before we even introduce our special guest, with the real star of the show, and that is the Panasonic Lumix BGH1 box camera.
So it's really going to come down to how good is the image, how easy is it to capture, and how easy is it for you to get that stream out or that image out into the world. And what's interesting is it's based around a camera called the GH5. They have the same sensor and similar engines, and so the question becomes, how did we get the GH5S to be approved in a BGH1 body? And the first thing we did is that Netflix has a very strict requirement on dynamic range. We found a way to get one additional stop out of the sensor, and that gave us the approval. In addition, they absolutely loved the form factor of the camera. They really like how small it is.
The PTZ Optics PT Superjoy. The Superjoy is a revolutionary new controller from PTZ Optics for just $8.99. The PTZ Optics Superjoy gives you simultaneous control over a lot of different protocols, including NDIHX, RS-232 serial control, IP network control, you name it, and you can do it with the Superjoy. It works with a host of cameras, obviously from PTZ Optics, but also new tech, Bird Dog, Panasonic, and more, which is now newly introduced with the IP Joy Gen 4. The IP Joy Gen 4 combines the serial control as well as IP control capability and the ability to program your different hotkeys. Let's introduce this week's hot new product here at Broadfield Distributing, the Wowzer Clearcaster Micro and the Wowzer Clearcaster Enterprise. Two exciting new products where Wowzer has upgraded the hardware technology and integrated it with the Wowzer Cloud Orchestration license to bring you and your customers a complete turnkey solution for enterprise-level hardware encoding. You can see when I say portable, it's not just half the size, it's not even a quarter of the size, it is less than a quarter of the size of the enterprise class rack mountable version. The RGB Link Mini switcher is a 4-channel HDMI switcher available in 3 options. The Mini, which I don't have on the table here in front of me, the Mini Plus, and the Mini Pro. The great thing about these 3 switches is that they all start with the same basic capabilities, but then give you a little bit more. Let's start talking about the RGB Link Mini. The RGB Link Mini is a perfect 4-channel HDMI switcher. 4 HDMI video sources in, 1 HDMI out. It also has a USB output, allowing you to take a video podcast studio and take multiple channels to feed them into a USB connection on your computer for a program like Zoom or any other video conferencing or video production type application. We step up to the RGB Link Mini Plus. The Mini Plus is this unit here. And what's different about this is you'll see these knobs and controls for different settings also give you PTZ camera control. The PF120 is Bird Dog's most affordable camera, built into the box, giving you the zoom capability, but obviously not the pan tilt robotic control. The brand new box camera, the PF120 that you see in front of me here, you'll see a lot of chatter all over the web and social media about this camera because it's super exciting. They've basically taken the P100, which is their top selling PTZ camera, and configured it into a box camera with an even better zoom, a 20x optical zoom.
So the V-Raptor, I've been with Red for 10 years, and I understand the question of, is it a sensor, is it a camera? Let me just be clear here, it's both. I'm now holding my phone, iPhone, Android, whatever you want, and notice I'm now getting wireless video 1080 directly out of my flagship camera with no cables there whatsoever. This is the user interface, and really for anyone that's familiar with Red, if I just wanted to see my RGB parade, I hit down on this button and look at that.
The Pearl Nano at just $14.95 is a real exciting streaming encoder and recorder that allows your customers to get involved in an NDI, SRT, or web streaming workflow. The Epiphan Pearl Nano is a great attachment to the Pearl Mini and Pearl 2 systems. This PTZ camera we were so excited by in having Grass Valley's brand and broadcast quality put into a camera that can be used in these installations that Broadfield is now also offering the camera alone.
The camera is 4K. Grass really went and found cameras that are comparable and comparable to their higher end LDX cameras. So you could actually take one of their higher end LDX cameras and get these 2 cameras to match so that you're not, really off on how the quality looks, the color values and everything else like that. So that's one of the things that makes these really nice is they match to their higher end cameras as well.
There was a major announcement on the TriTaster 1 Pro, a ton of new features on the TriTaster 2 Elite.
And people were asking, how can I get that into a smaller switcher where we're not going to use the 8MEs, but the TC1 Pro really kind of adds those features of the premium access features in there, but also it picks up not the 9 full channels of the Live Call Connect as in the TC2 Elite, but the TC1 Pro will have the 4, like the 4 channels of Live Call Connect. As you show on the kind of comparison chart there, you'll see the maximum amount of inputs, the MEs.
As you can see, 2021 was a great year, and we're really excited for 2022. And we hope that means we'll be able to get the opportunity to see more of our dealers in person at trade shows as they happen, and at other events throughout the industry. People like doing business with Broadfield because Broadfield makes it easy to do business, and we look forward to continuing that well into the new year.